Hello, everybody. I know nobody expected me to go live. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I need to keep trucking here. So we're going to be talking about a missing 9-month pregnant young lady. Her name is Emma Baum. She was last seen on October 10th, 2024 in Gary, Indiana. She's pregnant and lives in Portage, Indiana, but was visiting her boyfriend. Emma was visiting her boyfriend in Gary, where she was last seen. When she disappeared, she was dilated and could have delivered her baby since. Police state that her boyfriend is in police custody, being held on an unrelated charge. Hey, Sassy. Hey, May May. On an unrelated case. She is known to wear different hair pieces and wigs, but is naturally brunette. So we're going to pop right over here to, let me find where I was, Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Thank you, Sassy, for checking on me. Thank you. I was so sick. I apologize, you guys. Hey, Xena with Fire. Hey, Katie Ann. I was so sick, and I got sick so quick. So I had to get off there. Like I said, I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm not as nauseated. So, but we need to, yeah, she's got other children too, May May. Absolutely. This is who you mentioned the other day in chat, May May. Well, we're going to pop over here and we're going to listen to Nancy Grace. And you guys shouldn't have any trouble hearing it. If you do, please tell me. It is up all the way. We're going to listen to a podcast style with Nancy Grace. Oh, I try not to, May May.
With Nancy Grace. A pregnant mom, just 25 years old, missing tonight. The family's desperate plea. Where's Emma? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
I'm Emma Baum's mother. I would like my daughter home.
Can you tell me one if you can hear that?
Her babies need her family needs her, and if anybody knows anything or can help search for her, could you please help us? We need her home.
That is Emma Baum's mother. A desperate plea to bring Emma home. Emma, 9 months pregnant, dilated to 1 centimeter to our knowledge. That from our friends at ABC7. Joining me right now, an all-star panel. But first, I want to go to Emma's mother, Jamie Baum.
Was his.
Jamie, thank you for being with us. Also with Jamie is Emma's father, Jason.
Yeah, that made me sick too. But no, I woke up this morning and my head was so full of snot. Trigger warning. It was really bad. So I think the nausea was coming from the sinus drainage.
And Waddell and sister Abby. To all of you, thank you for being with us. I've just learned about Emma's disappearance. I'm very curious. I know that she's been gone several weeks at this point. But the first thing I want to do, Jamie, is get her photo out there. Emma, gorgeous, stunning, inside and out, a real girly girl. She loved putting on makeup and dressing up. She loved different styles, wearing wigs, just everything fashion.
Hold on, I want to try something, you guys. I've never tried before. I don't know if it will. No, it's not going to work. Dang it. I wanted to get her picture up there while we were listening to Nancy. Well, I'll show you guys her pictures and stuff. I've got her Facebook pulled up and stuff.
Now
Thank
at
you. What's
9
this?
months pregnant, seemingly has vanished. Straight back out to Jamie Baum. First of all, tell me about the pregnancy. Is it correct that she was at 1 centimeter when she goes
Yes, ma'am.
missing?
Yes, she was.
1 centimeter.
Yes, she was.
Tell me
She was
about her
pregnant.
pregnancy. Has it been a
Then-
difficult pregnancy? Has it been high risk? What can you tell me? Because I'm trying to imagine, is she in some hospital somewhere? Has she had the baby? What is behind all of this? How do you just vanish at 9 months pregnant? I could hardly walk at 6 months pregnant with twins. So how does a pregnant she's just 25, a young woman just seemingly disappear? Tell me about her pregnancy.
Well, she's had a good pregnancy. She was just dilated when she went. We tried to have her stay home, but she ended up going out.
Right now, her children want to know, where's mommy?
Mommy supposedly went to see boyfriend who did not, from what they say, want the baby.
Again, joining me an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But listen.
We've all gathered here today because we are looking for my sister. She was 1 centimeter dilated on October 4th. She has been missing since October 10th. My sister is beautiful. She's energetic. She reaches for the sky just like a sunflower.
Put a 1 in chat if you think when she went missing, she was at 1 centimeter. I would think that wherever she is, hopefully she has had her baby.
Which is her favorite.
You are seeing that from our friends at ABC7. Join me in addition to Emma's mother, Jamie,
Yeah, her
father
family dropped
Jason,
her
and
off,
sister
yeah.
Abby. Lisette Guillen is joining us, host of Case Files Chicago, and you can find her at Case Files Chicago. Lisette, thank you for being with us. Lisette, tell me about the area from which she goes missing. This is Gary, Indiana. Is it in the city? Is it the metropolitan area?
Gary, Indiana, where Michael Jackson was born. Gary, Indiana is considered to be a not good place, I'll say. And when other towns around start having a higher crime rate, they call them Little Gary, if that tells you anything.
Around the city?
This is in the city, Nancy. It's in a more dilapidated area. We're talking about 25th block of Connecticut Street, which there are a lot of empty buildings around. There's a lot of empty land and wooded area there. So it is, part of the city. One of the concerns is it's also very near our expressways here. And of course, we're known as the crossroads of America in this area. So, the thought of maybe her, being even gone on that highway is actually a concern too.
You're absolutely correct. Listen to this.
Emma Baum was last seen near 25th Avenue and Connecticut Street, about 2 miles directly south of downtown Gary, Indiana. It's been described as a dismal and desolate area. Baum was visiting a home in the neighborhood. Her friends and family have been there, scouring abandoned homes, looking for her and for clues into her disappearance.
Joining me, in addition to the family and Lisette Guillen, Brian Fitzgibbons is with us, Director Operations, USPA Nationwide Security, leading a team of investigators specializing in finding missing people. You can find him at uspasecurity.com. Brian, thank you for being with us. I've got all sorts of thoughts colliding in my head regarding the disappearance of 20.
We have to remember, too, if she was already dilated to 1 centimeter, the chance of her walking away would have, of course, put her in labor should have been fairly quickly if she walked away.
25-year-old, 9-month pregnant Emma Baum. Number one, a case I'm sure you're very familiar with. And that is the case of Shasta and Dylan Groney, who go missing out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Why? What does that have to do with Emma's disappearance? If you could, control room, please show me that map again. If you look down at an aerial of Coeur d'Alene, you see nothing but green, densely wooded trees. That's all you see.
Okay, hold on a minute. Because I know probably just hearing Nancy isn't piquing y'all's interest. Hold on, I'll see if I can find Nancy. Let's find Nancy on YouTube, you guys. So that way we can look at the maps. I apologize. I wasn't thinking. You guys. Okay, let me see if I can find about where we're at in the conversation. Hold on. Okay, I got her. I got Nancy on YouTube. I'll drop her link. Give me just a minute. Let me get out of that tab so you guys can see the map. I was kind of cheating tonight, but we got it. Let me throw this link in chat real quick. All right, there's a link for Nancy Grace. Let me turn the closed captions on. Let me speed it up. Okay, here we go. Right at the end of the conversation, this is where we're picking it up.
If you could, control room, please show me that map again. If you look down at an aerial of Coeur d'Alene, you see nothing but green, densely wooded trees. That's all you see. Running through that very rural area, heavily forested, is an interstate. What happened to these two children? A guy, a perv, driving down the interstate, gets a glimpse of Shasta Groney, about 11 years old, and little brother Dylan. Gets a glimpse through the trees of them at an above ground pool. He goes and lies in wait, kills a whole family to abduct the children, ultimately killing Dylan.
Wow.
Shasta lived. After our program broadcast the photos, a woman in a convenience store spotted Shasta with her attacker and called the tip line. Okay. The significance of that interstate cannot be emphasized enough. Explain, Brian.
Yes.
To have a main thoroughfare like that so close to where Emma was last seen is very concerning, because she could move at a high rate of speed to get away from that area. And complicating factor even further is the phone that she was holding at the time did not have a service plan connected. So even though it's still
that's a whole nother can of worms, the cell phone issue. But Brian, just think about it, 60 miles an hour. If she was in a vehicle, that's how quickly she'd be gone, at 1 centimeter dilated just before her disappearance. Look at Emma, 5'3", 136 pounds, 9 months pregnant, brown hair, light brown.
She is so beautiful. I just can't believe this. I can't fathom this. And we will be learning a lot more about the boyfriend.
Brown hair, blondish hair, and eyes, brown eyes, tattoos. You see one right there. Now, she loves to dress up and wear different colored wigs. That's just her. What is she wearing right now? We cannot project that. There you see her. In other shots, you may see her with short, light brown hair. Just look at her face. If I could show her face again, and specifically, I want to see a
Wow.
shot of that tattoo along her neck and collarbone, because regardless of how she's got her hair done, that is something that will not change. To Jamie, this is Emma's mom. What is that? There she is with a brown hair, with a brown wig. What, Jamie? What is the tattoo? It looks like a sunrise.
It is. Yes, it is a sunrise.
Emma is a natural brunette, but often has her hair like this. Now, the other case I want to bring up to you, Brian Fitzgibbons, we just heard Lizette Guillen joining us from Case File Chicago, talking about multiple abandoned homes in the area where she was last visiting friends.
And see, that's what's so scary. And whether you think so or not, these abandoned homes in these areas that, you may pass by 2 or 3 abandoned homes, on your way to wherever, the store, downtown, whatever. You never know what's going on in those homes.
In that neighborhood, there are some abandoned homes. And it brings to mind a case that I covered extensively, the disappearance of Aliana DeFries, a schoolgirl on her way to school, ultimately found she had been tortured. She was killed in an abandoned home. Brian Fitzgibbons, police must go through every single abandoned home in that area. Explain the danger.
There's a lot of inherent danger there. First of all, Gary, Indiana is a dangerous place. With all these abandoned homes, Nancy, you complicate search efforts, particularly for volunteers.
That's what freaked me out when she went missing from Gary. It is a very dangerous place. Very dangerous place.
Police need to get on the ground there in that vicinity of 25th and Connecticut and start searching some of those abandoned properties immediately.
How do you go about doing that? I mean, this is your expertise. You don't just drive by, for Pete's sake. The problem I see with an abandoned home is that a victim can be taken in there. They can be murdered. They can be held hostage, and no one's going in and out. People stay away from abandoned homes. Who wants to get near it? You don't know what's in there. They're deemed unsafe. So people can be in there and nobody knows.
Yeah, the city should have access to these abandoned properties without needing a search warrant. In many cases, they will indeed have that access. So I don't see that being an issue in this case.
Another case that is startlingly similar is that of a young mom, a Memphis mom, Eliza Fletcher, out minding her own business. Eliza was jogging. Here we have Emma innocently visiting a friend, and she goes missing. Eliza goes missing. She was found in an abandoned home that no one thought to look in. I would advise some sort of a grid search at this point, Brian Fitzgibbons, a grid search of this entire area.
Absolutely. And there are quite a few abandoned homes.
Also, do you guys remember the case where the mother gave her daughter to a man because she owed him like $200, and he took her to an abandoned house, and they found her.
Homes in that vicinity, but this is not a massive area around the place that she was last seen. And we have to think if something did happen to her, she would have had to have been moved very close by, that she wouldn't have been moved too far away.
To Abby Smith joining me. This is Emma's sister along with mom, Jamie. Abby, tell me about the phone that Emma had.
Emma used a lot of the Wi-Fi data, so she should be able to connect to some sort of cell tower or some sort of area where we'd be able to determine whether or not that phone was moved, I thought. Her last message was at 5:32 p.m. And then she's just gone completely blank. We haven't had any contact. No one has said anything. We haven't come up. No Facebook, no Snapchat, no anything. And we have not found the phone.
Okay, hold on, right there. Hold on. I've got to dissect everything you're saying. Abby is Emma's sister. Guys, please help us. Please help us. The family contacted me. We read about the case online. I have seen no other media coverage of Emma's case. The family is desperate
What
tonight,
is
joining
going
together.
on?
The dad, the mom, the sister, begging for help, begging for your help. I want to give you a couple of numbers right now. Here is a toll-free number. It's 1-800-YOU-TELL-US. 1-800-883-5587. Repeat, 1-800-883-5587. You can remain anonymous. You can remain anonymous. 1-800-YOU-TELL-US. 883-5587. Or there's a detective working the case out of Lake County Homicide, Detective Gordon. 219-755-3855. 219-755-3855. The mom and dad desperate for help. They have been out.
I am so sorry I didn't cover this sooner. So much could have happened to her. Like they said, the interstate is right there, very accessible.
Searching. They have been out putting up flyers. Won't you help us help them? To Sister Abby, I want to understand a little bit more about her cell phone. Now, was this a prepaid phone? You said she was using Wi-Fi. Was she out of minutes? Help me understand what's happening.
She was going to turn it on. I believe she was using the phone company Boost. Was it the Boost?
I think so.
Boost. So, like, it's one of the prepaid phones. She had no minutes, so she did actively use the Wi-Fi. She would connect anywhere she could, so she could keep in contact with everybody.
Hold on just a second. Abby, you cut out on me. Would you just start that over, please? I need to hear every word. Was she using a prepaid phone?
Yes, through Boost Mobile.
Okay, prepaid phone, Boost Mobile. Had she run out of minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me understand, Brian Fitzgibbons. I don't have a prepaid phone. Explain to me how that works quickly.
Whether your phone has minutes or not, it's still communicating to cell phone towers. Anybody who has an old phone knows you can still make an emergency call from it. It's not sending as much information. It's not going to be as precise, but that phone would have still been communicating with cell phone towers.
Urgent.
What if it
Are
was
you telling
off?
me, Brian, that even though she was out of minutes, her phone could still be pinged?
That is correct, Nancy.
That's what I was getting at. I'm sorry to cut you off, Abby, but that's what I'm trying to find out. To hey with the
Yes, but okay, talk to me about this, you guys. Because she was out of minutes, but she could still use the Wi-Fi and would still have 911 access. But not if the battery's dead or the phone's taken away. Right?
prepaid minutes and the blah and the blah.
Oh,
I want to
Lord.
get a ping. I want a ping on this phone. So do you believe, Abby, she had simply run out of minutes? Was the phone cut off, or was the phone dead, out of battery? Because the prepaid aspect is irrelevant according to Fitzgibbons.
Well, like you said, she was a girly girl, so she would not have a dead phone. It just isn't like her to walk around without a cell phone, especially being as pregnant as she was. It makes no sense why she would not have it.
That's true.
Yes, way more responsible than that.
When you say she was very responsible, to Mom Jamie Baum, what do you mean she was more responsible than that?
She just was on it. She wouldn't have not called any of us. We talk to her daily. She has a huge family, and we all stay connected all the time.
Very responsible, a great mom, pregnant 9 months. Brian, I just want to nail something down, okay? So if she had her phone with her, and she, like most of us, is...
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That just reminded me of the Wicks case. Is he laughing at that comment I had to remove that made no sense? Is who laughing at it?
Very careful about keeping it charged. It doesn't matter, Brian, if she had run out of minutes. Is that correct?
That's correct. It changes things a bit because it's not communicating with the towers as much as a phone that has service. So on your phone that has service, you might have 100 different applications that are communicating out to.
Why would my son be laughing at you in my chat when he's not in my room, and he cannot hear. He cannot hear what you're saying, Sassy. You're so silly. I needed that laugh. I needed that laugh, lady.
The internet through the tower. All right. When that service is off, you only have that emergency beacon and GPS and the ability to make a call to the cell phone company.
Back to Sister Abby joining us. Abby, my control room just came into my ear and told me that Emma's father, Jason, actually had to walk out of the room. What happened?
It's a lot emotionally. This is one of the hardest things our family has ever dealt with. And I wouldn't say he wants to admit that he feels broken or unable to do anything to help. And this is breaking. It's breaking everybody. He's broken.
Isn't your dad a war vet?
Yes.
Yes.
What war was he in?
Iraq. He went to Iraq.
So this is a man that's faced the enemy far from home and fought bravely, and he cannot talk about Emma's disappearance. What has this done to him? What has this done to him?
He wants to do what is right so we can make sure we have the correct justice, and it's just really hard emotionally. He feels like his country has turned its back on his children, and he has put all the effort into making it safe for everybody, and it's just not. It's still not. So it's probably hurting him in a way that none of us will ever understand, but we see it.
For those of you joining us and just joining us now, there's a desperate search right now in Gary, Indiana and beyond for a 25-year-old pregnant mom, Emma Baum. Please help us.
Emma needs to be found. Emma needs to be found. Now, what I would hope, and I'm sure that, yeah, this happened in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. I'm sure that they have checked hospitals, any type of clinics to see possibly if she was taken to one. But like they said, the interstate was right there. If someone had her in a car, they could have been in that car and gone. But we'll hear about her boyfriend.
A 25-year-old mother, 9 months pregnant, is missing. Stunningly, I have learned that the number one cause of death amongst pregnant women in the U.S. is homicide. It's not a stroke. It's not blood pressure. It's not a heart attack. It's homicide. When I heard that, I actually tracked down the first author, a doctor that wrote that, because I couldn't believe it. As I recall, she was with the New England Journal of Medicine. I thought certainly I had it wrong. I didn't.
Gary.
She didn't.
Gary, golden mom.
Look at Emma Baum. Please look at Emma Baum. I know we tonight sound angry and agitated because we are. She cannot just vanish.
Gary, Indiana is a very, very scary place. It is a very dangerous place.
Off the face of the earth. Who saw a 9 months pregnant woman? Her. Beautiful Emma. We know that her phone should still be pinging, but apparently it's not. We know there have been searches with canines. They found nothing. Volunteers searching overgrown fields, knocking on doors, passing out flyers. We know officers say they are scouring old video footage in the area from which she went missing. No sign of Emma. I don't believe in supernatural reasons for disappearances or reappearances. This is very real, and someone very real and very much alive knows where is Emma. Joining me in all-star panel, but in addition to Sister Abby, hopefully Father Jason can rejoin us. This has triggered so much for him. He is an Iraqi war vet. Mom Jamie, and now Sister Paige joining us, begging for your help. Back to Lisette Guillen joining us, host of Case Files Chicago. Lisette, I've been looking at the crime rates. Now, while Indiana itself has one of the lower national crime rates, Gary, not so much when it comes to violent crime. 27th in violent crime nationally. Explain.
The area of Gary is, very, it is very urban, and there is a lot of migration that comes through from the city of Chicago, people that are relocated there to here. So it's interesting, and we know that Chicago has some issues of its own, and some of those people come and bring some of those issues. So we're adding that onto the already on top of the issues that Gary's already had. The other problem is that there is a flight. I mean, people aren't living in Gary no more. People aren't putting a lot of businesses there like they used to, and so people are scavenging for jobs. People have to move out to find other jobs. The school system, there's plenty of schools that are not open anymore. In fact, one of them that came into question, Pulaski School, which is a point of interest for police, was set on fire recently. And so we have, in addition to abandoned buildings, we have abandoned schools now as well. So that all plays into the part of the crime and the dilapidation of the city of Gary.
All of what Lisette just told us is true, but that leaves me still asking, where is this beautiful girl at 1 centimeter dilation? Listen.
Emma Baum comes from a very close, big family with brothers and sisters for just about every day of the week. She loves the closeness they share now as adults, and she's creating her own large family with 3 children, Camden 6, Lucas 3, Amber 2, and her 4th is on the way. Her sister Abigail says Emma is energetic, always reaching for the sky like a sunflower, which is her favorite flower. Emma is very creative with her appearance, as she usually wears wigs of all kinds of colors and styles over her naturally brown hair. She never looks the same for very long.
Emma's family is desperately pushing for more resources to be put toward finding Emma. Listen.
Baum's family is pushing for more resources to be given to the search effort. Sister Abby Smith says the family has put their own lives at risk searching abandoned houses and digging dirt piles. According to the Gary police commander, there are license plate reading cameras and gunshot detection technology, but no police observation device cameras or POD cameras in the area Baum was last seen in. Another sister, Haley Baum, says she has stopped people in their cars, stopped people walking, talking to everyone possible. They're now turning to the public for help. Emma's mother, Jamie Baum, says, quote, "We're always going to look for her. I'm never going to stop looking for her."
I'm going to print up some flyers. I'm going to print up some flyers, and it may not mean much, but when I get out, I'll put them on cars and parking lots. She's had to have had the baby by now. She was 1 centimeter. She's had to, most of us are mothers, and I am praying really hard for her right now. This is horrible.
Let me understand, Jamie Baum, this is Emma's mother joining us. You and Abby have been stopping cars, asking if anyone has seen Emma. Tell me about this.
We've been out every day, all day, 24/7,
Walking in the middle of the road,
going in houses, asking anyone that we can.
holding our sign up to every window.
Desperate to find her.
Paige Baum joining us in addition to Abby and Jamie. Paige, tell me about your family's effort on your own, without police or sheriffs, trying to find Emma.
We've been searching every day. We haven't found any answers, but we're gonna keep trying.
Abby, tell me about what is going through your mind when you're out in the middle of the road, running up to cars, saying, "Have you seen my sister?" and showing her pictures.
Determination.
Hoping that someone is gonna give us an answer, that someone knows something, that maybe if they run us over, they'll look harder, because that could be the guy running from the situation. Like,
well, I don't understand why you have to be out going car to car and door to door and in abandoned homes looking for Emma. Jamie, why are your daughters doing the police work?
Well, we have to find her somehow. And if we have to do it, that's what's going to happen. Police aren't out there going through houses.
No. These girls need to have at least one officer with them looking into these empty houses. Right? Hey, Dog, the bounty hunter. Dog. Why don't you come to Indiana to Gary and protect these young ladies as they search abandoned homes for their pregnant sister, who we're pretty sure has had the baby, and they cannot find her. I don't know, Angela. I wouldn't say the Gary police don't care. For real. I wouldn't say they don't care. We'll find out what the police are saying.
So we are.
Why aren't they? Have you asked them that?
Yes. They said they're
And
doing
they said,
they say they're doing their job.
joining me is Greg Morse, high-profile trial lawyer, partner at the
Maybe law enforcement doesn't feel she's in one of those abandoned homes. Maybe law enforcement feels that she was put in a vehicle and taken on the interstate, where hard telling where she might be right now. And I'm telling you, Gary, Indiana is not it's not a good place. Well, a lot of girls go missing from this area too, Angela. You just have to realize, I mean, like they said, you get a lot of people coming from Chicago. You just get a large amount of people that congregate to that area, migrants from Chicago.
the law firm of King and Morse, Palm Beach. You can find them at kingmorselaw.com. Greg, very often you and I are on different sides of the fence, but I think you agree with me that there's an issue here, a disturbing issue. How can you, without antagonizing or agitating law enforcement, how can you get them to do more? And what do you do as a family if you're not getting answers?
Well, it is surprising in this, when I looked into it, I haven't read the police have been trying to do. This country has license plate readers across the entire, there's an expressway that borders this. There's also a port to Lake Michigan that borders the island. There's a lot of opportunity for law enforcement to look at technology to try to shrink the story as to where this young lady was taken or where she went. I was surprised a lot of the mainstream media has not given very many details, which police, of course, hold back some stuff to verify credibility. I get that. But when I look
So wait. So he's saying that she was in her vehicle, or is he wanting them to read the plates of the boyfriend? Right? This boyfriend, we're going to hear about this boyfriend.
Look at this area. That's unfortunately a common area in America, low income area that's forgotten. There's a lot of industry around it. One thing, we talk about cell phone towers. That's just one component of what it says. Cell phones also routinely, their Bluetooth will ping off of things anywhere they are. There's a lot of data that law enforcement could be looking at, and maybe they are. It sounds like, though, from the family that they're not. So I don't know how there hasn't been further.
You guys remember in the Delphi case when they had a record that somebody plugged a headphones into one of the girls' phone, and how long that those headphones were on and then they were unplugged? I found that fascinating. Yes, I'm sure they are spread thin flies, because yes, you know, and I'm not saying this lightly. Gary, Indiana is a scary place that I don't go there. For real.
Information. There's a lot of resources to go to try to find where this girl or what happened to lead down that path.
Please join us on our mission to find missing people, especially children, to solve
You know the family, Angela? Well, they're more than welcome to come up here and talk about it. I mean, I'm not Nancy Grace, but no, I agree. I would like to know what the beginning of that search looked like, because where did they have to start searching from? The boyfriend's house? because that's the last place she was, right? The boyfriend's house. So if there are abandoned houses in that area, I'm just wondering if in the initial search, if they had not looked into some of those places. But no, I absolutely agree that there needs to be some form of law enforcement to be with these girls when they're looking in abandoned houses in Gary, Indiana. That is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Just family and volunteers. Well, I mean, do we really know what the police know? I'm gonna find the press conference and play it here in just a minute.
To scour old video footage in the areas where Emma was last seen, the area around Antoine Butler's house.
The area around the bio dad's home is the beginning where she was last seen before, according to him, she left that area. But the family has made it known that the Gary PD was not helpful to them in their search for Emma. Now,
Why?
a new detective with Lake County Homicide is on the case, and they feel rejuvenated. They feel that someone cares about their case. Detective Gordon's number is 219-755-3855. Repeat, 219-755-3855. To Jamie Baum, explain to me why you felt that the Gary, Indiana police dragged their feet. You know what? Let me ask you a question. According to a report given to me, one of the Gary, Indiana police said to you when Emma went missing, well, if she's dead in a dumpster, you'll never find her.
No. No. No way. You're gonna say that to the family of a missing 9-month-old pregnant woman? Wow.
Did that happen? I'm going to confirm that with you.
Yes, ma'am, it did. He had
Oh
told
my God.
my daughter.
Okay, wait, I gotta take a woosah moment here, you guys. Let's all take a minute. My heart and my prayers are going out to Emma and her family. The law enforcement officer that said that to them, in my opinion, should be highly reprimanded. But like we did say, Gary police, it is a very bad place, and it has probably, what they deal with has probably made them callous to this stuff going on. But no, I believe that that officer needs to be handled appropriately. I don't know if the police department yet needs to be investigated, but that one officer needs to, yeah, they need to figure him out. After weeks of the family trying to, the family should have been able to file the police report, what is it, 24 or 48 hours after a person goes missing. But Emma was 9 months pregnant and already 1 centimeter dilated. That meant if she was on foot, she couldn't have gone very far. Because what do hospitals do when you're dilated 1, 2, 3? Hey, go for a walk. Walk that baby out. So if she walked away from there, she couldn't have got very far. If she got in a car with someone, they could have got her on the interstate and taken her anywhere. Taken her anywhere. And everybody who watches my channel knows exactly what's going through my mind right now, but it's so disturbing that I don't want to say it.
Her that if she was gone, she would not be found.
Hey,
And
Karen,
that
with
hurt my
this.
family greatly.
Oh,
I understand that after that, you feel renewed hope because Lake County Homicide, specifically Detective Gordon, is now on the case. May I ask you, what led the Gary, Indiana police officer to tell you in the midst of the search of Emma, 9 months pregnant, yeah, she's dead in a dumpster, you'll never find her? What brought that on?
Somebody had give us some information, and I had called and asked to pass it on to him. I asked him if he wanted it. I had it all nicely where he could read it with the times and no questions asked, no cutting it off. Perfectly, here you go. He told me no, not only did he not need it, that if that was accurate, we would never be able to find her if she was thrown into the garbage dump.
oh, bless her heart. So someone gave her the information saying, hey, D Designs, I haven't seen you forever. I know, I'm not happy about that. The only person says she got in a car is the boyfriend. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to hear what about the boyfriend and stuff. We're going to get more into this, okay? We're just getting started here. We are just getting started.
To Brian Fitzgibbons, Director of Operations, USP, a nationwide security specialty finding missing people. You know, in the midst of an investigation,
Oh, I didn't finish what I was saying. So someone had sent her the information, and obviously it said something about the possibility of her sister being put in a dumpster. So now you know the context of why the officer said, well, if that's the case, you're never going to find her. Should that have been said? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Victims' families give me a lot of information, and sometimes I knew immediately it was not going to be pertinent to the investigation. Like 2 years ago, she got a hang-up phone call. Just an example. But you don't tell the family, I don't need your information. She's probably dead in a dumpster and you'll never find her. What was he thinking?
Yeah, this defies logic, Nancy, and to the family, I'm so sorry that you had to hear that.
I had to open my
It's
ginger
very
ale.
troubling to hear that.
On Friday, October 11th, Emma Baum does not reach out to her family members, even though they are expecting her to come home. Emma has a phone, but it is out of minutes, telling her mother not to worry. She is getting minutes put on the phone on Friday.
Emma said she would be back on Friday to do something with her 6-year-old son, Camden. She doesn't show and doesn't call. The family waits through Saturday for Emma to come back. And when she isn't home by Sunday, her mother calls Antoine Butler. Antoine told Emma's mother, Jamie Baum, that he saw her leave with some girl in a car.
What? Look, when my husband has to go out of town for work,
He saw her leave with some girl in a car, is what the boyfriend's saying. So, kind of does remind me a little bit of the Wicks case, the Jennifer Wicks case. Kind of the same situation there, right?
or he has to go somewhere, I think I know where he's going and what he's doing. Same thing with my children. What does this mean? The BF, the bio dad, boyfriend, says he, quote, saw her leave with some girl in a car. Lisette Guillen joining us, investigative reporter, host of Case Files Chicago. Lisette Guillen, let me understand. That is the level of detail I've got from the boyfriend, that she left with, quote, some girl in a car. That's it?
Wow.
That's it, Nancy. And that's where the frustration lies, is there's very little details.
Okay, hold on just a moment. Jamie Baum, this is Emma's mother. Has the boyfriend been helping to look for Emma?
No, and his family has never reached out either.
Yeah, I don't like the way that smells. To Greg Morse joining me, high profile
Wow,
lawyer
me
at
neither,
King
Nancy.
Morse. That's a silk stocking law firm out of Palm Beach County. Greg, when I look at a statement or I evaluate the credibility of a witness, I look to see if their statement is, quote, rich in detail. I can tell you exactly what my son was wearing when he left for school this morning. Exactly. And I know what vehicle he was driving. I can tell you exactly what my daughter was wearing, what vehicle she was in, right down to their backpacks, their tote bags, and their water bottles. What is this gibberish? Some girl, a girl in a car? What?
Well, not everybody remembers the same detail as everyone else. However, I've 25 years of practicing law and handling every type of case. These type of general statements that aren't made in completion, where the car went here, I knew the person was coming. The police generally look at that as suspect. They're not credible. And as I mentioned before, why isn't there information about this potential car? Why aren't there people looking into where this car goes? Very easy thing to follow for.
Thank you. That's what I said earlier. The car, when they talked about reading the plate reader and stuff like that. What car? How can you look for a license plate on a car that you're not even really being told what the car looks like?
Or police.
Did I hear you say not everybody remembers details? Did you say that?
I did say that, Nancy. Not everybody remembers the same.
Because my fiance Keith was murdered decades ago.
Oh, Nancy.
I can remember right now what he was wearing. Blue jeans and a denim shirt. He was going to work on a construction crew. He was driving a white Le Mans, and as he left, he hung his left arm out the window and waved goodbye to me. I remember it crystal clear.
Nancy.
It's branded on my brain. Jamie, do you remember the last time you saw Emma?
Yes. She was
what was she wearing? What did she say?
Black clothing. She had her bag strapped around. She had her purse strapped around her chest, and she gave us a hug bye and told us she'd be home tomorrow, the next day. Kissed her son.
Greg Morris, I understand that you represent a lot of clients, but that is total BS, man. That all he knows is.
Now wait. So they pretty much agree that she can go to this boyfriend's house, who, from what I hear, didn't really want the baby anyway. And didn't they take her there? And she was 1 centimeter? And she didn't have minutes on her phone? Okay.
She left with some girl in a car. Technical legal term. I don't know if you use that at King and Morse, but that's BS. And I'm calling him out on this. Another thing I don't like is the last time she's seen, it's at his house. Abby Smith, this is Emma's sister. Isn't that true?
That is correct. Our sister Jaden and Jewel dropped her off for sure at that house to meet her boyfriend.
Now, I don't want to make an issue of this because this is a side issue. It's a collateral issue. But I'm curious. I'm very curious, Abby. This BF boyfriend, Antoine Butler, was he supportive of the pregnancy? Was he helping her?
No, there had been multiple times that he had asked her to get an abortion, and that is a fact. He didn't want it.
Trigger warning. Oh my goodness. Loves to lurk. I get you. I feel like Nancy's yelling at me sometimes too. Be nice, Nancy. I'm just glad I feel a little bit better. I thought that this was really important to get out there, you guys. This case. May said she talked about it in chat. Actually, I think I wrote the name down when she put it in chat. But how horrifying is this?
Well, when Emma found out she was going into labor, she just wanted to go more or less, make sure and confirm, and she decided that no matter what, she was going to keep the baby, and it was going to make her a better person. And that if he didn't want to be a part of it, that she needed to figure it out prior to fully going into labor.
So no money. He's not supporting her. He's not excited about the baby. He wants her to have an abortion. You know what? All of that, moral flaws, that does not make him a kidnapper or a murderer. However, I'm very concerned about the fact, Brian Fitzgibbons, USPA, that's where she's last seen. That doesn't bother you? And
why would she want to even go there? Oh, yeah, I agree. Dee, that they're not going to, release a bunch of information while they're investigating. I'm sure, too. You know, there's bad apples all over law enforcement. We need to hear about some of the good guys.
And nobody can tell me what kind of car she left in or where she went or anything?
Oh, it's absolutely disturbing, Nancy. A vague statement like that, coupled with, potentially a motive that he didn't want her to have the baby, and that she's having this conversation as she's about to go into labor, dilated a centimeter. That was the purpose of this conversation. So all of this adds up to be very suspicious.
Jamie, why did she go over to his place?
I tried to keep her. I tried to ask her not to. She wanted to talk with him over about the baby. I tried to keep her home.
Dr. Sherry Schwartz, what we women go through to try to have the hallmark Christmas card. We want the house deck. We want the house. We want the husband or the partner. We want the children. We want the turkey dinner. We want the Christmas tree. We want it the way we have grown up to think it should be, right? And I've got a feeling Emma wanted that. She wanted the bio dad to want the baby, be part of the life, be a family, and was going over to probably try to convince him of that.
I'm sure for Emma, she probably couldn't imagine that he didn't feel the same way she felt in terms of wanting to have this baby and parent this baby. And so that's one of the difficulties. You're absolutely right. This is what we crave. She's about to give birth and she wants to talk to him and say, don't you want to be a part of this amazing child's life?
And I can understand her saying that, right? She wants to be a part. She wants him to be a part. And maybe she felt that because she was 1 centimeter and getting ready to go, that absolutely maybe he would change his mind.
I think you hurt my baby. And when you find her, she's out.
The family is so much pain now, out, flagging down cars, going to abandoned buildings, walking through fields, begging for volunteers. That from our friends at ABC7. The boyfriend, the bio dad, in this case, Antoine Butler, has not been named a formal suspect in the disappearance of Emma Baum, just 25 years old, 9 months pregnant. And today I join with her family asking for your help. Tip line to Detective Gordon, 219-755-3855 or 1-800-YOU-TELL-US, 1-800-883-5587 to Emma's mother, Jamie Baum. Jamie, what is your message tonight if Emma can hear you?
Baby, we love you. I want you home. We miss you. We're searching for you. We will not stop until we find you. I love you. Everybody loves you. We'll find you.
Again, the tip line, 1-800-YOU-TELL-US or 219-755-38.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay, so the father, the boyfriend is actually in jail on other charges. Hold on, I'm pulling it up on Facebook. I got a couple things on Facebook. Let's share this tab really quick. Okay, this is from Nancy too. Missing pregnant mom, Emma Baum, vanished on October 10th from her boyfriend's house days before her due date. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Because you guys know I'm a reader. Okay, hold on a minute. And thank you, Karen. Thank you. She looks a lot like Layla Santinello. She is beautiful, isn't she? Just beautiful. Now, the boyfriend is in jail right now on other charges. The family of a northern Indiana woman who said that she was 9 months pregnant when she disappeared more than a month ago is pleading with the public for help. Emma Baum, 25, was last seen October 10th at a home where her boyfriend lived near 25th Avenue and Connecticut Street, about 2 miles directly south of downtown Gary, according to information from her family and the Gary Police Department. and I should have put this on my banner. Police described the missing woman as standing 5 feet, 3 inches tall, weighing 136 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Don't forget, Emma loved to wear wigs. Emma loved to wear wigs. Oh, no, you're fine. From my understanding, Dee, her family took her over there. Her family is the one who took her to the boyfriend's house because she wanted to see her boyfriend. She was 1 centimeter dilated. 1 centimeter dilated. So we know that, of course, we believe that she has delivered her baby. According to a flyer posted by her family circulating online, she's got several tattoos. Up in the right-hand corner of her chest, she has a like a rising sun tattoo. I'll see if I can find it again for you guys. Anyone with any information? The girls, her sisters, had been searching nonstop, as they said, even as far as standing out in the road to talk to people and looking in abandoned houses. And as I said, and I will keep saying, that is dangerous. They are in a dangerous area. But I just wish that they had a little bit of protection while they did it. Yeah, someone in the family or the family dropped her off at her boyfriend's house. If I remember correctly. If I got that wrong, somebody let me know. The missing woman's boyfriend and the father of her unborn child was picked up on unrelated failure to appear in court warrant. The boyfriend has not been charged in connection to the missing woman's disappearance. Now, this gets me too, right? No, they just dropped her off at his house. They said previously, the father of the baby that she was carrying had tried to get her to unalive the baby a couple times to get rid of the baby. Go to the clinic and get rid of the baby a couple times. And she was 1 centimeter dilated, and she wanted to go over and speak with him about the baby. And after I heard him talk about it, she probably felt that maybe because he hadn't wanted it previously, that he would change his mind with the baby so close to being born. Yeah, I'm going to get into it a lot more too. So the boyfriend was picked up, but on a previous warrant, but he's not been charged with her missing. what I don't understand is that he was the last one to see her and said that she got in the car with some lady. With just some lady. Anyone with information on Baum's whereabouts is asked to contact police at 219-881-1209 or call the crime tip hotline 866-CRIME/GP. Okay, now we're going to see about getting in a little deeper. Hold on. Hold on. What am I doing? All right. There is another. Oh, I'm looking for, I had a, dang, I had somebody, pulled up. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm just going to go through this one really fast. Yes, let me get to it, Dee. I just had it pulled up. Let me go ahead and share this. I want to listen to this News Nation really fast. See if it gets into any more about the boyfriend. Credit goes out to News Nation. I already put the link in earlier. So let's just listen to this also really quick. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys can hear it. I wanted to touch base on this case tonight, but we'll go through this News Nation really quick, and I'll find the link to the flyer. Try to, anyway. Okay. I'm just playing this to see if they have any information added. I'm not going to be on here much longer, you guys.
Dilated on October 4th. She has been missing since October 10th. At this point, we have done everything we can, and now we ask the public to please help us.
Police conducting multiple searches, but there has been no sign of Emma. Coming up, the reason her family believes the boyfriend is somehow involved and where he is now. Yeah. Also, we're talking to the founder of an independent search team who is working this case. First, several other missing cases we are following, starting with the mysterious disappearance of Hannah Kobayashi. The 31-year-old was last heard from on November 11th. According to our News Nation station in LA, Kobayashi was traveling from Maui to New York City, but missed her connecting flight in Los Angeles. She decided to go to the Grove Shopping Center for a LeBron James event, and then days later started texting her family alarming messages.
It sounded very cryptic, or like it just was not her. Yeah, we share locations. And we know her phone's off because it goes straight to voicemail.
Oh my goodness.
Call, text. None of the texts are getting delivered. We can't locate her phone.
There's another missing woman.
Hannah's aunt says there is new footage showing Hannah in downtown LA, and the footage has not been made public, but she says in it, Hannah is not safe and she is not alone. If you have any information that can help find Hannah Kobayashi, contact the LAPD. Suzanne Simpson's sister says there is no hope in finding the missing mother of 4 from Texas. Suzanne's husband, Brad Simpson, has been arrested and is suspected in her murder. He's being held now on $5 million bond. Suzanne's sister, Teresa Clark, spoke with my News Nation colleague, Ashley Banfield.
Children hadn't spoken to her in 16 hours. That's when I just knew, okay, she's already in heaven. That's just all there is to it.
The search for Suzanne does continue, including at a landfill and in a wooded area around the couple's home. A neighbor saw Suzanne and her husband fighting outside their house, describing a physical altercation before Brad Simpson drove off. That was the last time anyone heard from her. The search also continues for Zelig Williams, an actor and Broadway star who vanished in his home state of South Carolina on October 3rd. Zelig worked on the popular shows Hamilton and MJ the Musical. Friends telling News Nation they got an automatic emergency notification from Zelig's phone. His car was then found in a parking lot near a hiking trail by the Congaree National Park. It's about 15 miles from downtown Columbia, South Carolina. According to ABC4 News in the area, YouTuber Adam Brown, a local adventurer and the founder of Adam Brown Adventures, is now helping in the search for Zelig. He lives about 30 minutes away and says that he felt compelled to get involved. He's now gathering a group of experienced volunteers to look for Zelig, and in this video shows us the difficult terrain near where they believe Zelig was before he vanished.
Really, I'm just kind of looking for anything that's shaped somewhat, more like a phone. There's a snake right there. You'll see the snake. Water definitely is more calm today. It looks like, but dang. Look at all this after the flooding. That's just a mess.
This is also a case that many in the entertainment world and also in Hollywood have been following closely. If you have any information that can help in the search for Zelig Williams, you can contact the Richland County Sheriff's Department. All right, now to this week's featured case. More than a month since Emma Baum was last seen, a young mother about to deliver another child, when she disappeared. Last seen at her boyfriend's house in Gary, Indiana. Our News Nation station in Chicago spoke with Emma's family. Here's WGN's Jewel Hillary with the latest on the case.
You protect those you love in many ways.
No.
Sometimes.
You're going to get me on the music.
Emma Baum's loved ones say she was last seen early in October at her boyfriend's house, which is the brown one right behind us. For weeks now, they have been searching for her desperately and are asking anyone who knows anything to come forward.
I would like my daughter home. We miss her. Her babies need her. Her family needs her.
Yeah, that's
Pulling
it,
posters
honey.
with her pictures. More than anything right now, the family of 25-year-old Emma Baum wants to embrace Emma and the baby she was expecting.
She was 1 centimeter dilated on October 4th. She has been missing since October 10th. At this point, we have done everything we can, and now we ask the public to please help us.
Emma is 5 feet 3 inches tall and about 136 pounds. She's known to wear different hair pieces and wigs. This picture of her as a brunette is how she looks naturally. Emma is a mom of 4 young children, which includes the baby she likely would have delivered by now. She was 9 months pregnant when she disappeared.
If you do see a missing Emma, she may be with her newborn baby. This case is very critical because we don't know if that baby has gotten the care that it needs.
Emma's loved ones say she was last seen at her boyfriend's house October 10th in the 2500 block of Connecticut Street in Gary. Gary investigators say they didn't receive
Did you guys see that house? Oh my goodness. You guys can hear this okay, right?
of Connecticut Street in Gary. Gary investigators say they didn't receive a missing persons report until October 28th. According to investigators, Emma's boyfriend was arrested on October 29th on an unrelated warrant and is currently being held in the Lake County Jail in Indiana.
One individual was picked up on a warrant. I know that's the question out there. Was he charged? He has not been charged. No one in this case has been charged. And that individual was just on a separate FTA warrant.
Investigators say since Emma was reported missing, they have helped in her search.
There's been 3 different locations that have come up in the investigation. So we've exhausted those means and looked into video that was possibly in those areas that she was last seen as well.
Loved ones describe Emma as having a heart of gold, someone who would do anything for anyone. And now they're pleading with anyone who knows something to help them reunite with Emma and her.
So they haven't even found any video at all? Unless they're just not saying it publicly.
Her baby.
We love you, Emma. And if you can hear us, there's nothing that you have done to make any of us stop loving you. We trust that somebody knows something.
And we want
her home.
No offense.
Yes, you offended me, mister. Mister, you just offended me.
On Emma's disappearance is urged to contact the Gary, Indiana Police Department. Reporting in Gary, I'm Jewel Hillary, WGN News.
Joining us now is Lorenzo Longoria, founder of the NWI Independent Search Team, and also Katrina Overstreet, founder of the Missing Struggle. To you both, thank you so much for joining us. This is an urgent search, one, because Emma was so pregnant the last time she was seen, and the family now going public wanting a lot of help. So thank you both for the work you're doing. Lorenzo, let me start with you. Tell me about your group and at what point you got involved.
We are Team NWI Independent Search Team, and we founded our group back in 2015 when our oldest son, Michael, he went missing for 41 days. During that 41-day search, we went inside of abandoned buildings, inside of schools, inside of any type of structure. And during that time frame, we had thousands of volunteers helping us. So what we do now is our way of giving back to the community. So that's why what we do. So we know the pain, we know the struggle that the parents are going through, and we're there to help bring closure and to bring answers as best as possible with our team of 14. And we have currently 4 dogs that are on search and article sent.
Wow. So you know firsthand.
Okay, so here's an organization that is helping. He said his son had been missing for 41 days. They search abandoned homes and stuff. Really? Wow. Wow. That is really interesting because I was thinking, oh, she was possibly pregnant. What if it's someone that is okay, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it right now. But my mind is you guys know how my mind goes, okay?
And the pain and grief this family is going through.
But we will
quickly, on a
talk
personal
about
note,
it another
what happened
time.
in your story with Michael?
Again, he was missing for 41 days, and longer story short, he was found inside a retention pond in Crown Point. So he went off road and he was submerged underwater for 41 days.
Wow.
So, during that time frame, we passed him at least a dozen times, and the neighbor across the road finally he went to the local authorities and he told them what he's seen. Lights inside the water back in 2015.
I'm so sorry, Lorenzo, and thank you for sharing. And now I understand your passion for helping others. Katrina, tell me about your group and your involvement in Emma's search. Can you hear me? I think you may have been, that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead and start over, Katrina. How did you guys get involved, and tell me about your organization?
We're the Missing Struggle. We are a collective of families that also have family members that are currently missing. So it's five of us, and we all have family members that are still missing. And we got involved because we know NWI. We work together closely on cases. While they're boots on the ground, we're in the background doing what we need to do.
So this case, you can hear the family's grief. Lorenzo, I want to pay a particular attention to the house where the WJN reporter was a moment ago, the boyfriend's house in Gary, Indiana. You would start the search there because that was the last place we know Emma was. Tell me about this property and what you all have learned.
We have went inside the property. We went on foot looking for any type of evidence of her belongings. We did find some articles that belonged to her, but obviously she wasn't there any longer. So we just had to take the trail on her last known location. So that was her last known location, but she did travel, we don't know, by foot or by vehicle around the town. So we have went there. We have talked to the property manager. He is very, very helpful by letting us go inside and search. He doesn't have to, but he has, because he's looking for answers as well and clarity of that property.
Katrina, the boyfriend's in custody on separate charges. What more do we know about the boyfriend, his background, and the family seems to think he has some involvement?
I'm going to defer that question to Lorenzo.
I'm sorry, Katrina.
Yes, I said I'm going to defer that question to Lorenzo.
Oh, okay. Lorenzo, do you have any information on the boyfriend?
Well, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but anybody with the last person that they were with is definitely a suspect, especially dealing with this case or any case at all. The last person that was with the missing person is a high probable suspect, but again, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Yep, indeed. But they always start with the family and friends, the last to see a missing person in an investigation like this. Katrina, as you have looked at this case as a whole, what stands out to you, and where else do you believe police should be looking?
The first thing that stands out is very obvious. She's pregnant and was 1 centimeter dilated, and then went missing a couple weeks, a week or so later. Our biggest thing is, where's the child? Like, who did this? Did they do it for the child? Did they do it because of something that was going on with Emma? Like, there's a lot of questions.
See, a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Did somebody do it for the child? Did somebody do it because of Emma? Or did somebody do it because we have freaks in the world like that?
Questions out here that needs to be asked and answered. So that's where I'm standing with this.
And Lorenzo, what was going on in Emma's life prior to her
And the interesting thing is, the family says the boyfriend has not communicated with them at all.
Disappearance, had there been any red flags that the family has shared? Any concerns for her safety?
Her life prior to this happening, my understanding, the facts are the fact that she was in jail for some time, then she got back out, and I don't know her personally, so the family just called out on us back in November 3rd, and since then, 19 days straight, we've been out searching, we gathering information, gathering clues of who Emma really is, but by her family, she is loved by many, and they're looking for answers for her. So that's what we're here to do, is help bring closure and to find Emma and her baby. Her baby has to be born already, because again, like the missing struggle said, that she's already dilated 1 centimeter. So we're looking for just not Emma, but we're looking for her child as well, which is very alarming. You know, with the elements outside, like right now in this area, it's snowing outside. So where's Emma? Where's Emma's baby?
Katrina, you work with many families. What type of support do you offer them in this space of unknown as they look for their person and they look for answers?
There's a lot of things that we do. We actually help a lot of the families mentally, just to be there for them. You know, hey, you can call me at whatever time of the day or night. Let's talk about it. And us as the Missing Struggle and Lorenzo's team as well. They have missing loved ones. We know how they feel. So we can be more sympathetic and empathetic with what they're saying. We also print flyers, give out flyers. We push their flyers on social media. We make sure that the family is eating, you know, instead of being out there.
And I put the link to the missing poster for Emma in chat. So I don't know if they're going to tell us anything new at all. But I'm going to stop that right there, and I will pick that back up. Tomorrow I'll try to come on for a little bit. I am sorry I got sick last time. And but I needed to get on and do a little bit of something here. So you guys have fun. I know it's Friday night. I had to take a Mucinex earlier. Now I feel like I'm all dried out. But I do want to say to my friend, thank you for these candles. I love them. I already burnt my lavender one up. I am now on sandalwood rose. And it smells so good. And even with my nose stopped up, smells good. So what do you guys think so far? Boyfriend's not talking. Boyfriend's not talking. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I've been on here an hour and a half. You guys want me to go ahead and finish it? I don't mind. I just don't want you guys to get bored. We'll play a little bit more.
All day and all night with nothing to eat or drink. There's a lot of things that we do in the background.
Yeah, no, it's just sometimes it's something as simple as a hug. I know. Lorenzo, how closely does your group and others work with law enforcement, and have they been forthcoming with some of the information that they have found as they search for Emma?
We have not gathered any type of information that law enforcement has gathered. We kind of just do our own investigation. We would definitely work with the police if the police called out on us to help, but we are two different entities of law enforcement, what they do and what we do.
And what have you uncovered finally? Any clues or leads right now?
Right now, it's like a needle in a haystack. We have Emma's clothing. We have our dogs that are able to scent out Emma, but we almost like she just kind of vanished, and we're just looking for answers. So the clues that we found all lead back to the place that she was dropped off at that evening.
Which was the boyfriend's.
That's where we're at. We're just kind of like at a stalemate. So we're looking for other people to come forward and to express what they've seen, what they've heard, to help bring closure to Emma and her family.
Lorenzo Longoria, Katrina Overstreet, thank you so much for the support you're providing this family and for also working with us as we try to get this case out there in the headlines. I appreciate you both, and we'll be in touch. I also want to welcome in Lizette Guillen. She's the producer for Case File Chicago. You're also working this case, and we saw you in our WGN affiliate piece. Thank you for your time. What can you share on possible leads and any clues that you have found?
Well, of course, I don't investigate myself, but I work very closely with the police departments that do the investigations, as well as the people, independent search teams, such as canines. We are supportive and role that we put a spotlight on these cases. These cases, of course, are all important. This one being especially critical because there is a newborn child that's involved. We don't know if that baby has been born. Well, it should have been born by now, but we don't know the condition. We don't know if that baby or mother needed medical care. So this is an extra critical case that needs to be kicked up a notch. Investigators are talking to several people. The boyfriend, as you mentioned, is also a person of interest. He is currently being held at the Lake County Jail in Indiana on failure to appear warrants.
Okay. In my notes from my team, you shared that there is a camper that they're looking for. What more can you add to that?
There is a camper that came in recently. The photo was shared with detectives, and there's a camper that they're looking at. They don't believe that the body is in it, but they do think it has some connection somehow, some way. So police are actively searching for it to come through the area. It's been known to drive around Gary, Indiana. So police are actively searching for that so they can take a look in the vehicle and see what they can come up with.
Any specifics about the camper, what it looks like that people should be on the lookout for in that area?
The camper it's not an RV. Some people kind of mix the two up. It is a camper. It's on wheels. It's one of the smaller ones, and it looks like an older type model. It is beige, light beige in color, and again is known to drive around Gary. Although police think that it's not housed in Gary, but does drive around the city of Gary.
What more, as you talk to the family, Lizette, have you been able to gather about Emma's final times publicly, where she was seen last, who she was talking to, any concerns about her safety before she vanished?
There was huge concerns from the family because how far along she was in her pregnancy. Her mother actually pleaded with her, do you have to go today? Because she was going to the boyfriend's house. It's believed that, she wanted to talk to the boyfriend about the baby that was coming up. So they were going to have conversation. The mother, though, knowing that she was so far along in this pregnancy, said, you have to go, you don't have to go. That was the last time that Emma's mom, Janie, saw her. And her two sisters dropped her off physically at the boyfriend's house on 2500 block of Connecticut Street.
Does Emma have other children? So she was at the end of the term of this pregnancy. How many other kids does she have?
She's got 3 other children. One of them is 6. The other ones are 2 and 3.
Okay. And who's caring for those little ones right now?
The family is all taking care of them. This is a tremendous family. This family is very loving. It's a very big family. So for Emma to go missing like this is really unlikely because there's so many of them that talk on a daily basis and stay connected that this is really
okay. Emma's children are with her family. You are more than welcome, Dee. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I hadn't seen you for a while. So that is interesting about this camper. And I'm going to see if law enforcement has put out like any picture of what this camper supposedly looks like. So I wonder how they became interested in a camper.
Unlike Emma to just go missing.
One of the things that we run into often, and I know, Lizette, you do in your work, is the community wants to help, but oftentimes misinformation can get spread. And I believe that's been the case, at least in part, in Emma's disappearance. Anything you'd like to clear up that's misinformation floating around as people search for her?
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. This is a real case. These are real people. I know a lot of times people like to help. They want to help. However, if you do have certain information, please take it to local authorities. Take it to the Gary Police Department so they can cipher through it and triage it as they need to, instead of putting it on Facebook. We're seeing a lot of information.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Please, if you have relevant information, call the numbers that we have put out quite a few times within the slide, please. Don't put it on Facebook or YouTube.
Being put on Facebook, and those things could hinder a case. As we know that there's some stuff that may be sensitive, and those things really need to be getting to the police department. On top of that, as they're putting out information, people are starting to come up with their own conclusions to what happened to Emma and the baby, and that could cause people to just stop looking altogether. If they feel like there's a certain suspect that's already there, they may feel like, well, we don't need to look anymore because there's already somebody. And I do want to clarify at this point, there are no suspects, just simply persons of interest.
All right. And finally, are there any active searches planned? I'm looking outside here in Chicago right now. We've got snow coming down. It's getting cold. Any searches planned now or in the days and weeks ahead?
There is one plan from the Gary Police Department. I'm not sure on the date yet. Today's weather is, snowy. And I know that the independent search teams have gone nonstop. Rain, sleet, snow, they're going to be out there. So they're greatly appreciated by the family and the community who has seen them every day searching. But as far as law enforcement, I know there's something coming up, but I'm not sure when.
All right. Lizette Guillen, I thank you for your time, producer for Case File Chicago. We'll be in touch as we continue to follow this case and pray for the family that they have answers and they have Emma home soon. I thank you so much.
All right. We need to find Emma. We need to find Emma.
I want to buy your house.
Was that
I
the
can pay you
boyfriend?
cash for your house.
You can? Well, you better. Oh, that's the other one. Well, you guys, I don't know. I want to go back and find where she said that. Let's listen to her. I want to listen to her again because I didn't get what she said about the camper and law enforcement looking for the camper.
In my notes from my team, you shared that there is a camper that they're looking for. What more can you add to that?
There is a camper that came in recently. The photo was shared with detectives, and there's a camper that they're looking at. They don't believe that the body is in it, but they do think it has some connection somehow, some way. So police are actively searching for it to come through the area. It's been known to drive around Gary, Indiana. So police are actively searching for that so they can take a look in the vehicle.
Wow, that's interesting, Dee. That's interesting. Because you mentioned Janiyah McMichael, right? A 13-year-old who was possibly pregnant, missing since August within a couple blocks from Emma's last known location as well. That I am intrigued. I am very intrigued with this. Oh my goodness. I will be researching this further while I proceed to go on bed rest for the rest of the night. I am just so glad that I am not nauseated. For real. I was feeling really rough, you guys. Really rough. I don't think you would have liked it. That wouldn't have worked out very well. I would have had everybody in chat would have been throwing up. But I have my ginger ale. I'm a ginger ale addict. I'm a ginger ale addict. Thank you, Dee. You take care of yourself too. But I'm looking a lot further into this. I want to know about that camper. Let me see something here real quick. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can find the... I know they had a press conference. There's Fox News. I have to really look into this. But Emma already had 3 children. This would have been her 4th. Her family does have the kids. So that is a wonderful thing. she seemed to have a loving family. This boyfriend situation kind of reminds me of the Jennifer Wicks case. He was the last to see her. She supposedly got in a vehicle with somebody. Jennifer's boyfriend seemed to me more verbal in what he was saying and how he was acting and things like that. This his name is Antoine Butler, is saying nothing. You have a 9-month pregnant woman, 1 centimeter dilated, who goes to her boyfriend's, who previously had stated he did not want the baby. He said she gets into a car with a woman. Wow, there's a lot here. There's a whole lot here. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you get out of here. Thank you for hanging with me. I really do appreciate it. Makes me feel a little bit better. But I'm going to get curled up and find me a movie and do my deed. Karen, thank you again. Thank you again. So you guys have a great night. Go hang out. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Sweet dreams, everybody. Find a good scary movie to watch like I am. I'm going to find a scary movie. But yes, I'm excited to even get deeper into this case. But the main thing is to keep Emma Baum's name out there. She went missing in the Gary, Indiana area. She might have a baby with her